Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Monday, and we're here live to talk about writing. And this morning's topic is the care and feeding of authors and writers. Um, I wanted to talk about this because there are things you can do to help out the author in your life that may or may not be obvious. So, some of the things that you can do for them is leave them alone when they're in their writing space, um, but only for reasonable levels of time. So, if they've been in their writing space for like more than, say, 18 hours, check on them, make sure they're okay, make sure they're hydrated, make sure that they eat appropriate food and that they're getting a good quality of calories, not just junk food. Um, Make sure they get some daylight. Make sure they get exercise. And the best way to do those things are to do things with them. And those are all obvious, okay? But also, when the writer in your life gets that far-eyed, funny look that tells you that they have something going on in their brain, sit and listen to them because they're about to start telling you something about their latest character or novel or poem or whatever, and listen. I can't tell you how much that's worth to us. When somebody actually sits and shows an interest in the funny thing that we just thought about our character that might never make it into a book, it makes such a big difference. Listen to us, give us feedback. Must be Monday. Um, and give us awesome. Give us real feedback. Um, we're not interested in just hearing that what we wrote is good. It doesn't tell us anything. It tells us you love us, which is nice, but that's not why we asked you for feedback. What we want is to hear, I really enjoyed this section because X, Y, and Z. But this part over here didn't sit well because it counteracted with something else. Or I thought this was too wordy. Or this was done really well, but this was done poorly. Or you need to work a bit on writing dialogue, but your descriptions are fantastic. Things like that really help. When we get constructive criticism, it allows us to improve our craft. And short of doing Amazon reviews, that's like top of the list of things you can do for the writer in your life. I must be tired. Wow. This is just crazy. I'm like exhausted. And I shouldn't be because I like totally slept all weekend and got really good rest. Anyway, so other things you can do for the writer in your life, you can write them reviews or you can ask your friends to do reviews. So there's this funny thing that happens with Amazon. Um, if someone who lives with you reviews your book on Amazon, you can have your account disabled. This is true even if the person bought the book without telling you and went and reviewed it. It doesn't matter because they're connected to you. And so people who live in different houses can review you, people who have different ISPs, that kind of thing. But Amazon does track this stuff. And if you get a lot of, especially if you get a whole bunch of positive reviews, they will look and check. And if they find out that any of those people live with you or have a connection with you that's more than casual, they will either delete the account or delete your account as an author, and it sucks. So you need to get people doing stuff from doing reviews that are outside of your family. This is not as easy as it sounds. Now, I've been extremely lucky. The cookbook has been up since the last day of October 31st, I think was my official published date. Might have been the 30th. Okay, I have sold over 500 copies now. I'm so excited about that. And I have 34 reviews as of last night. Only 7 are written reviews. The rest are stars. And this is the sucky part. I have a bunch of 2 and 3-star reviews, and because the people didn't leave me any actual feedback, they just put the stars in, I can't address why they gave me a lower mark. I don't know if they're people who bought the book or not, because I have no way of knowing that. It could be random people who just get their jollies from giving 2-star reviews. Or it might be somebody who read my book and found an error or had an issue with some of my research and gave me a review. I can't tell the difference between scammers and people who actually know what they're talking about. So please, when you do a review, take the time to go and actually write a review, even if it's only a few sentences, because it lets me know that you took the time to actually read and go through what I've written. And that's helpful. I'm so sorry. It must be Monday. So that said, I wanted to give you a little Monday humor. So, yeah. So, what are some obvious signs that you're a writer? You are a word hoarder. You find things that uh, it's when you can't read books and you have a note unless you have a notebook by your side because there might be a word that you're a new word or a word that you want to look up later, or something like that. Um, you love to read. I have a reading pile that is taller than I am many times over. And I'm slowly making my way through it and will continue so until I die. And I won't finish it because I'll add more to it. Writers would rather write it than say it. And this is, oh my gosh, so true. There are times when I would much rather write an email or a letter than speak because when I have time to write, I can formulate my thoughts and it's amazing. Um, those of us who are writers, we know good writing when we see it. We might not be able to tell you why, but we'll know it's good. Everything we experience becomes a part of our books. If you irritate us, we will make you characters in our books. We value our journals over our shoes. Writing is therapy. Let's see. So, you know you're a writer when you keep a journal and a pen by your bed, for those middle of the night bursts of inspiration. Oh my gosh, so true. So freaking true. We have this habit of keeping a notebook. I have a notebook here on my desk that is just for writing notes and gibberish in. I have one in my purse. I have one in my computer case. I have one downstairs, and I have one in the kitchen, and it's stashed away. Because if inspiration strikes me, I need to be able to write things down. It's terrible, but it's so true. When we're not writing, we're thinking about writing. This is for people who don't work at writing. You take a sick day from work to stay home and work on your latest project. I know a lot of people who do this, not so much the rest of the year, but during NaNoWriMo, they will either plan holidays or they will take a sick day so that they can get caught up on their word count. You can never have enough coffee to keep you going. No joke. So much coffee. And as a side to that, you haven't had enough coffee until you can thread a moving sewing machine. Yeah. And that does apply to Coke as well. If you prefer having soda, that's your thing. You have a stockpile of 15 or more blank notebooks and journals, and you buy more the faster that you fill them. I've had to pull back on that recently in recent years. I used to have a whole stack of journals that didn't have anything in them. And it's terrible as a writer. I will look at that pristine journal time and time again and go, it's so pretty, I should use it. But I don't want to write in it because it's so pretty. Once I've written in it, then it's sullied. It's no longer virginal. It's scary, but it's true. Writers do this. Oh my God. Um, People come to you constantly and ask you to write important emails or cover letters and inscription on greeting cards because you're better at it. You turn down plans with family and friends because you're writing at home. You type, 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 and don't even care about the time. There's a lot of us who writers also have very specific times that they write. The best time for writing for me is between 10:30 in the morning and noon. I don't know why, but when I sit and write at between 10:30 and noon, I get tons of writing done. Other times of the day, I can write and get things done, but not that productive period. That's my ooh, get it done time period. I don't know why. Um, and every writer has their own. I used to be the right in the middle of the night person, but I'm old now, so your wrists ache. Totally true. Everyone that you see, whether on a bus, at work, or shopping, becomes a potential character for your novel. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Um, your friends and family are sick of hearing about your latest writing project. That's embarrassing and also true. When you get in a writing groove, you just can't stop. It's very true. Word counts only slightly stress you out. Okay, they really stress you out. Now that's true for some and not for others. For me, word counts are important, but not the be all end all. The only time I stress over word counts is during NaNoWriMo. And even then it's not stress, it's more of a goal. Um, Having the deadlines actually helps me a lot for whatever. There's paper wadded up all over your floor from editing. That's actually true. I will print out problem sections and then red pen them and just work on them that way, and they do end up on the floor. Um, what else we got here? Your computer is filled with half-baked story ideas that you'll get to one day. Oh my gosh, so true. So I have like a whole section in one of my Google folders that's just for potential story ideas. Something that I think about, I jot it down and it becomes, oh, I'll write this one day. Um, you're in the middle of some life experience and you think this will make a great story. You document your life on the internet. That's kind of true, but not always true. You'd rather be reading a book? Oh, yeah. You use words like an artist uses paint. Yeah. One of the things that I talk about, I've talked about in the past, and when people say, well, are you artistic? Yes, but I don't paint with a paintbrush, I paint with words. So where somebody else can pick up colors in watercolors or oil paints or pastels or pencil or whatever and draw a picture, I use words. And if I've done it right, it's just as vivid and beautiful. Um, Killing off one of your characters gives you real heartbreak. It's true. I cry. Um, every part of your life, purse, car, house, is filled with random post-it notes and scribbled on receipts because you get an idea at random moments. That's why I have the notebooks now, so it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still true. Um, and yeah, let's see. What's this one? You know you're a writer when you've learned that regular people are cute and no longer get offended with this conversation. Regular person, what do you do? Me, I'm a writer. Regular person, no, I mean, what's your real job? Writers are a lot like unicorns. Everyone knows about them. They've simply never actually seen a real one. You know you're a real writer when the NSA, CIA, and FBI no longer bother with you. Likely they know you by name and now outsource to the creepy ice cream truck just to make a few passes and check to make sure you're still at your computer. Um, yeah, so it's true. I have a file on my desktop that says, "No, honestly, I'm a writer." Because, like for instance, when I was researching the vampire novels, one of the uh, scenes in the first book includes the death of a character, and he has a sucking chest wound, and I didn't know how to describe it. So what did I do? I went to YouTube and I researched sucking chest wounds. I've researched how to kill people. I've researched how to lime a body. I'm not going to do these things, but I am a writer and I try to write things accurately. Yeah. Um, you know you're a writer when you hate texting because it takes too long to use proper spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Seriously, I punish my children by telling them that I won't accept texts that are anything less than perfect grammar. I know they hate it when I do that, but yeah, it's okay. Um oh, I love this one. If I don't clean my house soon, someone's going to bring in blindfolded people and for a Febreze commercial. You know you're a writer when you take a break from writing to go to the store and on the way begin untangling a plot problem. You finally realize you're in the next state and you have no idea how you got there. But the good news is you now know which poison is best to kill off the character modeled after that cheerleader who bullied you through high school. It's the poison that will make her fat and wrinkly before she dies slowly from terminal acne. um, yeah. You know you're a writer when you've been diagnosed with Tourette's, multiple personality disorder, or both. It's tough to explain. You were simply working out dialogue when strapped to a gurney. But the upside is when they sedate you, it's the only vacation you've had in months, and the insurance might even cover it. Score! Let's see. You know you're a writer when you realize you're a horrible human being for getting so excited for that last one. Oh, that's the last joke. You know you're a writer when a casket washes up in a Houston flood, and while normal people are upset about how tragic it is, you're wondering if there's gold inside, or missing drug money, or if they open it, they could unwittingly unleash the zombie plague. Or what if it's the wrong body and it was all to cover up a mob leader faking his own death? And then you realize you're a horrible human being for getting so excited over that because now you have a new story idea for Nano, you sick, soulless person. And it goes on and on. There are a bunch of things like this. You know you're a writer if coffee is what runs through your veins instead of blood, and if you've actually seriously considered doing the IV thing. There's a zillion jokes out there. We writers are not easy to live with. We're reclusive and occasionally growl at people, and we don't always listen well, and we frequently like to eat junk that's bad for us, and we spend a lot of time sitting at our desks instead of going out and doing things. But you know what? We make beautiful stories and we keep you entertained, and those stories will continue to entertain you even when the power goes out. Just remember to buy the desiccated tree slab version of our books rather than the electronic version so that it will work even during a power outage. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I have been teasing you long enough with terrible jokes. Take care of the writer in your life. And if you are a writer, please take care of yourself. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week, okay? Bye.